Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money with your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 580 of Screw the Commute podcast. I'm here with Steven Lentz, and this guy has been around. He's been a firefighter. He's a top business coach, and he's got some great tips on getting more leads and conversions and business coaching if you're thinking about doing that and so forth. So we'll bring him on in a minute. Now, make sure you grab a copy of our automation ebook. You can grab your copy at screwthecommute.com/automate free. See, I want to make sure that you are handling customers and prospects and not fighting with your computer. And if you would just take a little bit of time to learn some of these automation techniques, it would save you literally hundreds of hours into the future. We estimated just one of the tips in the book has saved me 7.5 million keystrokes. So download this book at screwthecommute.com/automate free. While you're at it, pick up a copy of our podcast app at screwthecommute.com/app. That's APP. You can put us on your cell phone and tablet, take us with you on the road. And it's not one of those apps where, they just give it to you and you have to figure it out, like what to do. No, we have screen capture videos, and we have just regular screen captures and instructions so you can take advantage of all these great features. And again, it's kind of an automation thing. So you can use it on your cell phone, tablet, and like if a phone call comes in, it'll pause the podcast and then pick it up after you hang up, just stuff like that. All right, so pick that up. Now, make sure you check out our program that we're doing to help persons with disabilities. I'm really proud of this. We're helping people. We have 3 people in the program right now. We're shooting for 5, and 2 of them are blind, and they're getting internet and digital marketing certificates so that they can get hired and or start their own business and work from home and legitimately learn from home. So check out imtcva.org. Of course, that'll be in the show notes. I know nobody can remember that. And /disabilities. And you can see their GoFundMe campaign. They're shooting videos. I mean, unbelievably inspirational. So you can something you can be proud to be involved in. All right, let's get to the main event. Steven Lentz is here. He's worked a multitude of jobs. That word job is cussing around here. Screw the commute, right? As well as being a business owner. He has also recently ended a 10-plus year career as a firefighter EMT. Steven's a platinum level business coach with LPW. He'll tell us about that later, and has his own digital marketing agency. And Steven's coaching helps businesses to stop competing on price and grow their profits and scale their businesses. And his digital marketing agency helps businesses become omnipresent. And you see a lot of that term nowadays where you show up everywhere. And that's really important when people go to check you out. And you can also dominate the organic rankings and the map pack, if you know what that is. So Steven also hosts his own podcast. I was really pleased to be on it, Subject to Change. I think he has to change it since I was on there. So he gets bad feedback. And he interviews business owners and entrepreneurs. So, Steven, are you ready to screw?
Let's screw it. Oh, you got me.
So how you doing, man?
Dude, Tom, I am excited to be chatting with you again. I had a blast talking to you just a couple days ago on my show. And honestly, talking with you is like talking with a Dos Equis guy. I feel like you're the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah. This, like I said, this one guy kept calling me the OG, and I thought, old guy, that's not really nice. I mean, I take a joke as good as anybody, and he kept calling me OG, and then I found out it was Original Gangster. I didn't even know. That's how original I am. But yeah, so glad to have you on. And also, if I happen to have a heart attack, you can, you're an EMT. You can maybe give me some tips on how to save myself. I don't know.
That's right. So first I'm going to tell you, you call 911, you go get help.
Yeah, right. So tell everybody what you're doing now, and then we'll take you back and talk about some of those jobs and firefighting stuff.
Yeah, and you did a great job listing off the bio there. That's pretty comprehensive. So LPW is a coaching, I guess, coaching coaches, and they teach us how to help other business owners do better with, competing on value instead of price. One thing that I like to talk with my clients is that customers only shop price when that's the only value proposition that you give them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So to put it into a real life example, the only reason that Tony Robbins can sell a $10,000 group coaching membership is because of his value proposition. It doesn't necessarily mean that my group coaching is any less valuable. It's that I haven't been able to prove my value proposition is as good as Tony Robbins. All right. So if you feel like you have to compete on price, there's a reason for that. It's not because of necessarily what you're selling. It's because of how you position yourself to your clients. All right. So that's like one of the things that we work on. So like that, how to increase conversions, how to increase, the number of sales you get, not just making that sale, but repeat sales, profits, all the stuff. So yeah, it's a great company. It gives us as coaches lots of great skills to help our own clients and just a platform to be able to do that.
So what do you think business owners are some of their biggest mistakes that they're making when they talk to prospects?
Yeah. The thing that I find most with business owners is that most business owners, like the vast majority, when I say most, is that they're in business by default and not by design.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that, say you're really good at fixing sinks or you make great tables, right? You go into that business being like, hey, I can do this. And you get so far leveraging your network, your family, your friends, your social media, that kind of stuff. And eventually you're going to run into a bottleneck of what's the next step. And the thing that I find with a lot of these clients is that what really gets in their way is their mindset, right? I have to do everything myself to make it right. I can't outsource this. I'm not ready to let go of this responsibility, whether it's hiring a VA or hiring someone to help them with their marketing or whatever it is. That old mentality of if it's done right, I have to do it myself. And the pride, right? There's a lot of pride with your baby because that's what a business is to these people is it's their baby. You've grown it, you've raised it, you've fed it your blood, sweat, and tears, right? All that stress that goes into it. And so releasing some of that, I feel like is the biggest obstacle that most business owners face is letting go.
Yeah, and they want to be employee of the month every month.
Yes.
They have like 12 pictures of themselves up on the wall.
No, you're absolutely right. I think that's the biggest mistake that you could say is the vast generality, right? Like everyone has other mistakes of like not asking for the sale or having like a poor sales problem or a web page, right? The web page thing gets me every time. So when we talk marketing, and this is separate from the digital marketing aspect, this is marketing from coaching side, is that there's a conversion equation that happens with it. So there's 4 steps. There's the interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. And interrupts that first headline, right? And it's supposed to be it's supposed to address the problem they have they don't want, followed by the solution they want they don't have, and then education, because anyone who comes to your website, I'm a big numbers guy, so I'm going to start throwing out numbers here. So see you have 100 people that come to the website, 1 to 3% are now buyers, right? The vast majority are on this buyer's journey of wanting information. And so your irresistible offer isn't a call me or book a free consultation, right? Because all that means to today's buyers is let me sell you, right? Your irresistible offer needs to be something that has more value and more education because that's what they really want. And the reason that you give that instead of they sell me or let me sell you is because all this traffic that comes to your site, once they leave, how do you market to them, right? You've lost all contact. So you need to exchange information. You need to get their email address so that way you can create a drip campaign and stay with them. So that's what the offer is. And I'd say that is the biggest mistake that most people make, whether it's a dentist or a doctor or a plumber, right? Everyone says, book a call us, let us consult, whatever it is. And it's just to let me sell you instead of let me exchange information so we can market to you and nurture you as a customer. So when you're finally ready to buy, that we're top of mind and we've built trust and credibility.
Yeah, and email, see, still to this day, even with its downfalls and the spam filters and the free places like Yahoo and Hotmail and all that really suck, but it's where the money is. I send an
Absolutely.
email out, money pours in my front door. Now, you can you can kind of find visitors and reach them again if you pixel them, but still
Mhm.
you don't really know who they are, and you can't target, directly to them, and you have to have enough of them to even be able to do an advertisement to that pixel or to that group. So there's it's nothing like email, giving them something, getting the email, and then now what we've done a lot of times to get a better email address is to do an e-course. And we
Mm.
tell them, hey, put your best email address in here so you get each part of the course. And they're thinking, oh man, if I put my crap email in there that I never check, I won't get the course. so,
Yeah.
so that's a little trick there. Now,
That's brilliant.
I saw something that was in another bio I saw about you. It says so you were a firefighter EMT.
Yep.
So it says going into people's homes for over 10 years has taught me how to talk with people and how to carry a conversation. So I'm thinking, all right, the guy saying, I'm having a heart attack. My chest is hurting. Well, have you thought about being a business coach? LPW is really great.
It's funny you say your heart hurts because I'm looking in your fridge and
Yeah,
this is just really bad for you.
exactly. This is cholesterol. There's something bad could happen to you.
There's there comes a point in time where like, you know what, work needs to be done before we start talking.
so, so let's talk about that 10 years of your life for a little bit. Is there any particular saves that you did in that amount of time, or is anything funny things or crazy things that happened? I'm
Oh yeah.
sure there
Oh
was.
man. The Tom, the that's a can of worms. The I mean, just oh my gosh, just overwhelming, right? Like I've got silly stories, I've got tragic stories. I can drive down the road in the town that I worked in and be like, I remember when the guy died in that corner.
Oh
Like
boy.
I remember crushing that squishy chest trying to do CPR.
Oh
Or
geez.
there was a car that flipped over here with 3 teens in it at 6 a.m. in the morning. And they were probably out there for 3 or 4 hours before the homeowners woke up and found him and called it in. And like we cut them out of the car. Like
Oh,
I've got tons of those stories, or like just gross, right? Like you walk in, like this house is poop matted in the floor and like cobwebs all over, like just disgusting. Like we're
yikes.
pulling the body out of here. So I mean,
What
if
about
you've got the
what's
whole
some funny ones? Have
yeah,
bound to
yeah,
be some funny
right.
ones.
Like bring it down. So early on, in my career, just in the first year, we got a call at 7 a.m. Our shift is 8 to 8. And so at 7 a.m., I'm going off that day. And the power had gone out for a lot of places. And PSC had gone out like 3 hours before. And PSC goes out there and they call
That's the
911.
power place in your
That there's
PSC?
a power substation,
Oh,
right?
okay,
So there's like
okay.
the trestle track, like the big rocks that are all over the ground there, and it's got like the little towers with all the wires and
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
So power had gone out. Something happened to the substation. PSC gets out there a couple hours later and calls 911. So we run out there, and there's this lady, just spread eagle, laying on the ground there, and she was stripping the copper wiring for meth.
Oh.
And so, yeah, so and she is just burnt to a crisp, like black and sooty, and I mean, it looks like a straight out of a movie, right? Tattered clothes and the whole 9 yards. So she'd climbed up like 5, 6,
Oh,
7, 8
this
feet.
is your funny story?
It gets there. It gets there, right?
Okay, I was thinking
Because I used to not have a very refined sense of dark humor, and that's that's how we go. But we get out there, and you introduce yourselves, right? You say, "Hey, fire department, I'm Steven. Can I help you?" Right? Get consent, whatever. And so we walk up, and it's my patient. And I go, "Hey, fire department, I'm Steven. How can I help you?" And she goes, and she just sounds like
Oh,
every
I
ounce of
thought
water
she
can
was
crack out.
burnt to her crisp dead. That's
Oh,
what I thought.
she's burnt to a crisp. She's not dead.
Okay.
I say, "Hey, fire department, can I help you?" And she looks at me. I mean, she can't really move, but she, her eyes twist over. She goes, "You bitches, I'm a felon." and that was the first time that I ever laughed out loud at a patient. She
Oh,
can't move.
right.
Those are the first words out of her mouth. I say, "Hey, can I help you?" Just crazy.
I mean, did you ever rescue any cats out of trees and all the typical stuff?
A couple
Yeah.
times, pulled a cat out of a tree, pulled a cat off a roof. It drives me crazy. I'm like, you never see a cat carcass up in a tree. Like they always come down.
Right, right.
What are we doing here?
And now, don't they have to send in some areas police backup to first responders because of danger? in the
Oh
neighborhood?
yeah. I call them the blue canaries.
Blue.
Are you familiar with canaries and miners?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So
Right, yeah,
the blue canary.
yeah. So for everyone who's listening who doesn't know the story, miners would go down into the mines. They'd take canaries with them in cages. So if there was poisonous gas that they didn't know about, that the canaries would die, and they'd be like, "Oh crap, we got to get out of here." So the police are our blue canaries.
Right.
We have like a domestic violence or some weird thing going on. We're like, hey, I don't have this vest. I'm not packing weapons. I don't want to fight anyone. Like, we'll send them in. We'll take care of that.
Well,
So.
those fire axes are pretty tough. If somebody got hit with one of them, it probably hurt.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse, right? I'm going straight to the ladder truck. We've got some chainsaws, got some axes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got
yeah.
all kinds of good stuff. The jaws of death. Yeah.
Things like a tank. We'll just drive right over them.
Really, those fire trucks. I mean, they're worth what, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
In some cases, millions.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, millions of dollars. Wow.
Yeah, we purchased 2 trucks. They were like the demo versions that came out, and so they're getting driven around from town to town, and they're pretty basic. And we got both of them for super discount for like $500,000.
Wow. Gee.
But if you spec'd out a custom ladder truck, easily $1 million.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Easily.
All right. So, what other jobs did you have? You said you had a multitude of jobs.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I've raked sand traps at a golf course. I worked at a dry dock as a forklift operator. I've sold vacuum cleaners door to door for a hot minute. I've sold insurance over the phone. I've done fix and flip real estate. I've done some slight construction stuff. I mean, you name it, and there's a very good chance that I've done something somewhere with it. It's my resume is like 12 pages long, and I'm like, no.
So after you got out of firefighting, how did you start? Did you just go right to LPW for training, or how did you get into the coaching arena?
That is a great question. So, convoluted backstory, right? I did everything I could, and this is going to be a theme that whoever you are, if you're in entrepreneurship or business or looking to be in it, and you take any course from anyone, they're going to tell you take massive action, right? Massive action trumps learning every day of the week, because getting stuff done is better than perfect.
Well, I saw a quote of yours: "Perfectionism is fancy procrastination."
Yeah, it absolutely is, right? Like, I have to get it just right. No, you're just procrastinating. Like, let's call it what it is. Or, if someone gets hung up on, oh, I need a logo, and like, no, you don't. You're not Pepsi or Coke. No one cares. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Slap something up there, and if you don't like it in 5 years and you're doing well, rebrand it. Like Pepsi did that. It looks very similar, but they still redid their logo. Like, are you better than Pepsi? No, go get a client. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, make money. Yeah, so many people brand themselves right into the poorhouse, worrying about that stuff. I had people wanting to match their brochure colors to their website colors. And you'd say, okay, well, what's wrong with that? Well, the thing is you take, and they really obsessed on it. If you went down to Best Buy and opened their website on 10 different laptops, it's going to look, every color's different on each laptop. So it was just crazy to try to do such a thing when they should be out there trying to get customers.
Sure. But do you want to know the secret?
Just buy one laptop. I don't know.
Oh, no. The secret is because it feels good. It's mental masturbation.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, instead of making
absolutely
money. Yeah.
It makes them feel good. They feel productive. They feel busy. They're working on their business. I'm throwing in air quotes because no one can see this, right? You're working on your business, and you feel like you're making progress, even though you're not. You're not doing anything that moves the needle. And so that's like the big trap, especially with immediate first-time business owners, is you do all these things. You have like all these preconceived notions of, oh, you need this and this and this, and to be successful, I have to have a cool logo and a catchphrase and a nice website. And it's like, man, go leverage your network. Like, go join a meeting, go do a meetup, go talk to someone, because that's the activity that's going to move the needle and actually get you a client. No one's going to be a client of yours because you have a nice looking logo.
Unless they sell logos and then they want to change yours.
Sure, right? Like maybe you're on Fiverr and you sell logos and that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Like, that makes sense. Like, create a crap ton of logos. But yeah. But no, getting into LPW. So I took massive action. Like, being a business coach wasn't on the forefront of my mind ever. Like, I never like, hey, I'm going to do a bunch of things and be a business coach. it was to be a firefighter. And I slept on a sidewalk for an application. I put myself through EMT. I did everything I could. I volunteered at a
Hmm.
department just for the chance to get that job. And I finally got the job. And then 3 years into it, I was let go because the department didn't have enough money for me and another guy. So of my group of 6 that got hired, me and another guy got let go. And that shook to my core my idea of security and safety,
Yeah, and
right?
you would think
Because
fire and police, back in those days, you never think about getting laid off. That was just a forever job. But nowadays, wow.
yeah, you're exactly right. Right. And so I had this idea of like, hey, this pseudo government job with a pension that's going to be there for forever for me, is, and everyone's listening, like, he said 3 years, but before he said 10. Well, yes, I got back into firefighting. And I was out of a job for about 2 months and I got hired on with another department. And then eventually my department was like, hey, we have money again. You want to come back? And I came back, and that's the course of 10 years. But in this like back and forth of departments and stuff, there was some spans of unemployment and like, again, that security being gone. I said, I need to take charge of my life because I'm not a victim, right? And if I'm going to get results, it's on my own shoulders. I've got a family to feed, I've got a wife, I've got kids. Like, I'm going to make it happen. And that's how I ended up selling vacuums door to door and selling insurance over the phone. Like, I was going to do everything I could to improve my situation. And so part of that was being like, I'm working a bunch of really crappy, shitty jobs. Like, can I say shit on
Hmm.
this podcast? Is that
It's too late. You did. You said something worse earlier, so don't worry about it.
okay? So I think it's funny to say it and then ask if I can say it. So it's but no, I worked a ton of just crap jobs, right? And I was like, I need to take charge of my own life. And so I got into Fortune Builders and Clever Investor of fix and flip real estate. And I did a couple deals and was like, you know what? I really don't like that. Like, yeah, I'm taking charge and I'm like making some money, but this is not what I enjoy and like, and it doesn't feed my soul. Like, I need something else that gives meaning and pleasure to myself other than like some soul sucking thing that I've just created. So I started trying some other businesses, and I realized that you can have the best party in the world, but if you don't get the invites out, no one's going to come, i.e. marketing. So I was like, I need to get really good at marketing, like really good at it, because this is ridiculous. So I started taking every course I could. And I took courses from Billy Jean about like YouTube and email. I took Jerry Kramer, Tim Tarango, like you name it, I've probably taken a course and like went through it and have gotten really good at marketing, regardless of whether it's affiliate or email or whatever it is. And so I finally came across some other people. I was like, hey, I actually like this service. I use it as a white label in my own digital marketing agency. It's another story for another time, but started getting to there and I was like, I like this. And then I've always been a teacher. I've always enjoyed teaching people. I've always enjoyed the guidance, the mentorship role. And my wife, I'd been toying the idea around of business coaching for a while, right? I'm back in the fire service again. But I know that my priorities have changed. As a young man going into the fire service, it's like, this is awesome. Like, I'm going to be in this brotherhood. I'm going to be there for 30 years. I'm going to be, the firehouse family, and it's going to be awesome. And then I was like, you know what? Firefighters don't live long after retirement. Like, they're 50 with 5 types of cancer.
Wow.
And they die like 5 to 10 years after retirement. It's like, that's not the life that I want to live. I've got 2 kids, and now my values have shifted to, I want to be around. I want to have grandkids and great grandkids, and I want to be present and healthy. And so I started looking at how I can work myself out of the fire service. So within that, and that's how I came to LPW, is again, like, I like helping people. I like guiding people. I always enjoyed teaching the volunteers. I enjoyed teaching my peers on the fire ground when it would be time for doing different drills. And I was like, what can I do? And this is why I went into fire service, not like police or military. I was like, I don't want to have to fight someone or shoot a gun or at someone. Like, I don't want to necessarily hurt someone. Like, I like it when people are happy to see me. Like, let me fix their problems, and they can be happy in there.
That one lady.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can't please everyone, right, Tom? Like, right. So I got into LPW, and again, it's like, this is right. Like, they're giving me all the skills that I need to boost my business acumen and my knowledge to help other people. And it's great. And the ongoing training and teaching, and because I mean, no one pops out of the womb like, I'm a great business coach and I can tell you how to do stuff. It's, you get good by practice and experience and learning.
Right? All right. Now, how'd you start your own agency out of that? So you do both, right?
Yeah, I do both. So I'm my own independent business coach. I'm affiliated through LPW because I use some of their software and services and their trainings. And then just my own agency, I use other services again, started my own. Just I have a team of like 10 plus writers and VAs. And, as we get clients, I'm actually talking with a home building client in the Midwest who's got like 90 franchisees. I don't even know how to say the word, like sub people. So
they're less than people.
Their own contractors with their own businesses
Right.
that do like construction, but use this company's
right brand,
brand and stuff. So I'm actually meeting with them here in back like an hour or so, and we're gonna go over like what campaigns look like for them moving forward. But yeah, so I do that, and it's being omnipresent. So we create content, whether it's news articles, press releases, blog posts. We do some video, we do some audio podcast directories and infographics, and then we also have the distribution side of that. So whenever we do a campaign, that gets blasted out to 400 plus guaranteed placements in the media, as well as all those other places that we just listed.
So for a company like that, what social media would you slant towards? I mean, there's so many out there. Or would you do the research to find where their customers are first and then slant them towards that direction, or what?
That's a great question. So everyone is obsessed with figuring out the Google algorithm, right?
Not me.
But there's always an exception to the case.
Yeah, no, right.
But like the vast majority, right? If you go on any everyone's like, oh, SEO this and algorithm that.
Exactly.
Right. And what happens is that everyone thinks that you need to have the best on-site SEO, which is ridiculously expensive for what it is, because at the end of the day, what it looks like is you're patting yourself on the back, right? Because Google's like Amazon. Amazon doesn't create jeans and t-shirts and shoes, they curate it. And Google's the same, is that they curate content. And so if you ask, how old's the queen? Google's gonna say, hey, these are the top sites that I trust. These are the ones that answer the question the best. And it ranks them boom, boom, boom in order, right? Unless you're a paid ad, which then you're up on top. And so going back to numbers, 97% of people who go to Google for a question, they skip the paid ads because they know that you're patting yourself on the back, and they go to what they think Google gives you the most trusted, credible answer. So when we create this content, we distribute it, we're leveraging Yahoo Finance's trust and credibility with Google. We're leveraging CNN's trust. We're leveraging Fox's trust, right? And so you have all these people patting yourself on the back, or patting you on the back, not you yourself, and saying, hey, Steven makes good shoes. Right. So then when you're looking for shoes, all of a sudden I'm up on top because I have all this trust and credible leverage from everyone else. When it comes to social media, you don't get that, right? Facebook is, if you have a Facebook linking post that ranks on a Google search, that's super low hanging fruit. That means there's no competition for it, because Google doesn't care about social media. Google wants the content. Right? Google doesn't trust Facebook.
Yeah, right.
You can say anything you want, but Google trusts Yahoo Finance. Right. So that's what we do, is we do that content to gain that visibility. So when people start, and we focus it on the problems and solutions, right? That buyer's intent. And we liken it to, if I was to shop for jeans, I'm not going to go online and say blue jeans and put that in the search result, right? I'm not a serious buyer. But if I say size 34, black, skinny, distressed bootcut jeans, I'm a serious buyer looking for that product.
And so, if you put on the end of that search term that Tom Antion could never fit in since he was in first grade.
Right. Hey, like long tail keyword search.
Yeah, right. big tail.
Right. And so here's the key for everyone who's like doing pay-per-click and stuff like that. Right? The high value clicks, and everyone tries to rank for, is like best doctor, or best dentist, or best whatever. And that's the smallest search percentage with the highest cost per click. Right? 70% of traffic comes from these long tail, like buyer intent keyword searches. And 15% of every Google searches every day are brand new. They've never been searched before, which is bananas when you think about the billions of people using Google. Right. So that's how we do it, is we take the problems and solutions from our clients, whether you're a dentist or want to do like Invisalign with, Medicaid insurance, right? We'll create the content about that, and that's what it gets pushed out. And that's how you rank and how you outdo your competition. So
beautiful.
That's the tip and trick, right?
All right. So we got to take a brief sponsor break. When we come back, we're going to ask Steven what's a typical day look like for him. I know when I was on his podcast, I got a visit from Vivian,
It's
and
true.
she stopped by. It was a lot of fun. So, so folks, out about 24, 25 years ago, I kind of turned the internet guru world on its head, and that people at my level were charging 50 or 100 grand up front to help you do your business coaching. But I knew a lot of these people, and they'd be, you give them that money up front, you'd never see them again. So I said, that's too risky for a small business. So I said, I'm going to charge like an entry fee, and then I'm going to tie my success to your success. So for me to get my 50,000, you have to make to net 200,000. Well, people love this, and 1,700 students later, it's still. I mean, I kind of lost track a couple of years ago. I don't know. It's more than 1,700, but it's still going strong, and it's the longest running, most unique, most successful internet and digital marketing mentor program ever. And I always triple dog dare anybody to put their program up against mine, because nobody will. 'Cause there's no way they can match the benefits that we give you. So it's all one-on-one with me and my entire staff. You're not lumped in any groups. You have an immersion weekend at the Great Internet Marketing Retreat Center in Virginia Beach. You actually live in the state with me for an immersion weekend. You get to take advantage of our TV studio, where we shoot your marketing videos for you. Put the graphics on, edit them, send them to you when you get home. You get a scholarship to the school that I was talking about earlier, that's got the program for the persons with disabilities. You can either use it yourself or gift it, and there's just tons of other unique things that nobody else will do. See, I'm a fanatic. I threw a teleclass on Thanksgiving one day because I forgot it was Thanksgiving. That's how pitiful I am. But it's good to have a fanatic on your team, folks, because I'm answering questions in the middle of the night for people and all kinds of stuff. So check it out at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and we'll see about your future online. All right, let's get back to the main event. Steven Lentz is here, and he's had a variety of jobs. He's got a beautiful family now, and he just didn't want to end up being a retired dead firefighter.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, so he got into other stuff. So what's a typical day look like for you, Steven?
No, I appreciate that. And you know what? I feel great. You call me the main event. That's I'm gonna start throwing that on tagline.
Yeah, you're the main event.
Makes me feel good.
Out of 80 episodes, you're the main event for this one.
That's right. Like a broken clock. I'm right at least twice a day.
Right, there you go. Yeah, so do you have a morning routine? Do you get up early? Do you work out? What do you meditate? What do you do?
Yeah, so I have a hard time sometimes with necessarily morning routine consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a morning person. That's always been one of my struggles. I can stay up all hours of the night, but getting up early has been difficult for me. But I get up decently early. I have 2 kids, so they don't let me sleep in. But I'll get up and I make myself some tea, and I have some family time right off the bat in the morning. And so that's about the first hour is some family time and just a little bit of meditation, get my mind right.
And you work out of your home, right?
Yeah, I'm work out of my home.
Through the commute. All right.
That's right. The tell you what, traffic from the bedroom to the kitchen is insane.
Yeah, you don't have. Now, just for nostalgia, do you have like a fire pole in your house?
No.
People would think it's a pole dancing thing.
That's right. I mean, I've offered my wife to get one. She shot that down pretty quick. It's I have some family time, and then I schedule podcast guesting for the morning if I'm going to do that, and kind of those morning meetings. So like I said, I have a client meeting here coming up in just a little bit. And then the afternoons is when I have people on my podcast if I'm doing that. And then depending on the severity of need, I'll schedule different activities, whether it's some coaching outreach or getting with current clients or reaching out and doing digital marketing stuff and getting with the team. So the mornings are kind of like me time and getting focused and planning and prepping and taking care of other outside stuff. And then the afternoons are inside work.
And how old are the kids?
5 and 7.
Well, are they in the business yet? Because, they probably know more about computers than we do.
My 7-year-old, I got him a coding program. So he's enjoying that. He's learning how to do some coding stuff. But no, they're not doing anything in the business yet. But they're around it. They talk about, oh, when I'm older, I'm going to have a tire shop business and I'll do this. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, bud.
How about your wife? Is she part of the business?
She is not. She actually has her own zero waste grocery store in Kirkland.
What's it called?
It's called Scoop Marketplace.
No, but you said zero what?
Oh, zero waste.
Oh, yes. You mean I could have a smaller waist if I ate there?
Yeah, all the way down to zero.
Yeah. So what does that mean? So they're able to donate stuff that's not sold, or what?
So her passion project is helping the planet be healthier, right? You have like all the microplastics in the ocean and tons of garbage going to the dumps and stuff. And so her goal is to help reduce the footprint of garbage. So instead of, going to Fred Meyer or Costco and everything's in individually packed stuff, at Scoop, everything is bulk goods.
I see.
So you're scooping out rice and beans into your own containers. So she buys the stuff in bulk from the suppliers, and, huge, 50-pound bags of oats and stuff like that. And then people can be like, hey, I need, 2 cups of rice for dinner. And they can come down and they can get 2 cups of rice.
Ah, okay.
Right? So just eliminating all the vast majority of the consumer waste that goes into food and home care.
Right. Okay. But does everything that she have not have a shelf life? Like if she doesn't sell stuff, can it be donated, or is that against health rules?
She doesn't have any perishable stuff in the store right now.
Okay. No waste, zero waste.
Yeah, zero waste. No, it's really cool. And other like home good stuff too, like soaps and shampoos and lotion and like toothpastes and toothbrushes and tooth tabs. So all the different like home care, grocery, everything.
How many square feet is the store? And
I want to say it's like 2,000 square feet.
Okay.
And between 16 and 2,000.
Is it open 7 days?
It is open. I do want to say it's 7 days. While I'm part owner, it is not. I'm not in it.
Yeah.
It's her project. It's her thing. When she was setting it up, she's like, I'm kind of nervous. I was like, sure, I'll put my name on it. And that's how I ended up being like part owner. But I am not very involved.
Does she go there 7 days, or does she have a big staff, or what?
No, she has her own staff and personal assistant, and they run the store. So she does everything from home, and mostly is working on like vendor relations and goods and the money and like the back end office running the business. So she has people that it's in there, weighing the goods and checking people out and stuff like that.
See, I would never. She'd fire me in 5 minutes because I could never be in a food business, because I had one food business and I ate up all the profits, and so she'd come in and I had my head stuck in a bin or something and just eating out of it.
Well, there's nothing that's perishable. So, you'd be chomping on like dried rice and dried beans. So,
well, maybe I would lose weight.
I think you'd be just fine.
So how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, StevenLentzCoaching.com. It's Steven with a V, because the PHs are the.
Right. That's my middle name is PH Steven.
Oh, we're gonna fight.
Well, you can have it. Yeah, I don't go by it.
And Lentz is Lentz, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, Z as in zebra. So StevenLentzCoaching.com. And then in the show notes, there'll be a Calendly link for a 10-minute call. If you want to, chat more about becoming a business coach or using business coach services or talking about digital marketing stuff, always happy to chat. But you can find me at StevenLentzCoaching.com, and I have a free ebook there as well about marketing for you. You can grab that.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for at least your 10 years of saving people and saving homes, and it's good in many cases for a coach to have gone through all the crap you went through with those jobs and then a good job with the firefighting, because that's experience. What I hate is when somebody wants to be your life coach and they never did a damn thing their whole life, and then they want to be your life coach. So good for you, man. So thanks so much for coming on.
No, Tom, I had a blast. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, go land those clients, man.
I'm gonna do it.
All right, do it. All right, don't procrastinate. Perfectionism is fancy procrastination. That's a good say.
Done is better than perfect.
There you
go. Get out
go.
there and move the needle.
All right, man. We'll catch you later. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Tom.